Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. Toyota Tundra 2000. You already saw her once, I believe. New owner. Just recently acquired this vehicle and started maintenance. But what he didn't know, and I showed you the video about, he came for the detail inspection. I had a feeling the vehicle was dragging when I was moving it around using engine. Then I pushed on it and I showed you it was completely dragging. Today he stopped driving it, he just locally moved it there and back. Made an appointment, came back for the work. And this is that unfortunate expensive work because everything has to go. Vehicle apparently was sitting before he bought it for like half a year somewhere around here, and everything started rusted. So today again when it came back, I basically couldn't move this wheel. It was completely stuck. The brake, everything was seized on it, completely stuck. I couldn't really move this one. This one got also worse, but I was still able to grab the wheel and spin it. These brakes were completely gone, and only reason why this happened is because it was sitting. The brake rotors are thick. Just regarding thickness, nothing wrong with them. They weren't rusted really badly. It was just all stuck. This was the bad one. You can see the grooves as the brake pads, which were also good, right? Thick. As the brake pads were stuck on it, look at the thickness of the pads. That's a thick pad, but look at that mess. This hardware, the pins, that's everything is rusted. The springs, the holding springs, I couldn't get them out of these pins, right here, these little holes. It was impossible. It was just completely stuck in those holes. I barely removed that. It was a nightmare. This is the hole, which I mean, that one right there on the pin. Everything is rusted. You can see it. It was pretty brutal. So even the bolts on the back of the calipers are huge, 17 millimeter. You see that? As I was in the beginning afraid, I was soaking it and soaking it with this puppy, PB Blaster. I took a break, let it work, and I just kept soaking it. I was afraid I will break them. Right? Half drive, big breaker bar, both of those gave me a big fight. Then you are afraid the lines will be not coming off the calipers and so on. So the worst you can do, the worst thing you can do is not to drive your vehicle. Park it somewhere where it's humid. And this is what will happen. Nightmare. And you will be throwing away the parts which normally, if it was driven, they will not give up. They will be fully useful. And there will be no problem with that. So I didn't make the damage, the money, I didn't count it yet, but obviously this really was not needed. This didn't have to happen, and it's just a waste. And the previous owner caused it because they parked the vehicle, let it sit somewhere. The caliper, which was worse, I couldn't even get it off the rotor. I had to take the hammer, the bolts were out already, boom, boom, and as the rotor was still on the vehicle, I had to start hitting that caliper with a heavy sledgehammer to even remove it. The pistons in it are so rusted solid that they didn't want to let go of that pressure which was applied on it. That's why I couldn't move it. And I had to use the big hammer to brutally beat it off. Obviously, this is all going to be recycled. It's going in the pile which is outside the pile of the metal. These have a core, so these are not throwaway. This will be saved, will be sent back to the company who refurbishes these brake rotors. Little note on these babies. You can see here, nicely L, they are nicely painted. The other one will have a right, but the little note on that. 2000 Tundra, my friend. Be careful if you are ordering your brakes, because there are 2 or 3 different sizes. And these are the baby, I believe, or middle. There could be smaller, there could be this size, and then even bigger. Doesn't matter, it's a 6 lock. But I had to actually scrape on the other side. There was a name of it. Let me show you, actually. Before I ordered the parts, I had to go. I will show you where it is. Right here, my friend. K219, is it the one? That's that R. This is it. S13W5. I hope you can see it. That's the model of this size. The other one was obviously right here. It's bad, so I didn't see it really. So if you have 2000 Tundra and you will be doing this job, I hope you won't, because this is big waste. But if you end up with this, make sure you check your models correctly. The pads, right, could be shorter or longer. The brake pad, right, because the caliper will be bigger. So even the pads, which you can see it right here, will be taller or longer, whatever we want to say. So this is it. That was a little sharing with you guys. Please don't ever make a mistake to park your vehicle and think that after 6 months you'll come back and everything will be peachy. It probably won't, unless you live in the desert where it's super dry, there's no moisture, and then you should be okay. Anytime you do the job like this, please always make sure you completely flush that entire brake system. It will be very bad idea to put everything brand new and leave inside of the lines very old, rotten and full of moisture brake fluid, correct? So don't ever forget, this must be part of the job. Other than that, it will be insanity basically. Installing beautiful brand new parts and leaving very bad contaminated brake fluid inside of the system. So I hope you enjoyed this video, you find it helpful, and stay tuned. I will be making way more videos. I will continue right now when I will finish this video. It's end of the day, but I will start already working on the timing belt and water pump and every single pulley and little part which needs to be replaced on this engine. That's my tomorrow's job. So thank you for watching and have a great day, my friend.